Welcome to this week's legislative report. The Revenue Committee voted on Thursday to send Governor Pillen's property tax package to the full legislature for debate. The package would replace property taxes levied for schools with front-loaded state aid. The state aid would be funded through increased sales and cigarette taxes and by eliminating some sales tax exemptions. Counties and cities would be subject to a cap of 3% or the Consumer Price Index, whichever is greater. A 6% increase would be allowed for salary costs for law enforcement in understaffed areas. The package, which will be offered as an amendment to LB 388, could be scheduled for debate as early as Tuesday. Until the actual language of the package is released, it's unclear whether it includes a repeal of inheritance taxes. Thanks to your efforts, after 2 days of general file debate, LB 1067 has not appeared on the agenda for 3 weeks. However, even if a repeal is not part of the package, LB 1067 could be placed on the agenda separately at the request of the introducer. In either case, several sources report that the legislature is contemplating an inheritance tax repeal with a reduced rate of replacement revenue. This loss of inheritance taxes without full replacement revenue could only be made up through increased property taxes, if increases are available under the proposed caps, or through a decrease in services. Please continue to reach out to your senator. Remind them of how your county uses inheritance taxes and what the loss would mean in terms of property tax increases and reduced services. With only 11 days remaining in the session, amendments will be offered with little advance notice, so we must remain diligent in our opposition to repealing inheritance taxes without 100% replacement revenue. Thank you for your ongoing commitment to this effort. This week, the legislature passed a bill that would require counties and other public bodies to give the public time to speak at each meeting of the body. Existing law provides that a public body is not required to allow citizens to speak at each meeting, but it cannot forbid public participation at all meetings. Other provisions of the bill would change the amount of time custodians of public records must spend in responding to public records requests. Currently, custodians of public records must spend the first 4 cumulative hours of searching and copying public records without charge. The bill would increase that time to 8 hours for Nebraska residents and the media. Non-residents can be charged from the first hour for the actual added cost of records. Senators advanced a revised homestead exemption program from the first round of debate. The new program would remove the focus on valuation of the property and instead create a new exemption that would require recipients to pay a minimum amount of taxes based on their household income. Other bills advanced from the first round of debate would create a working group for making awards under the county bridge match program and address mapping of schools for emergency responders, as well as addressing the foreign ownership of ag land in the state. Governor Pillen signed a bill to increase the dollar amounts triggering competitive bidding under the County Purchasing Act. The bill will take effect in January.